You have my attention.
That way?
You'll regret this.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Neathouse helmet, here we come.
Very poetic. Seems that the falcons Aranor left behind weren't as lucky. They're all dead.
No. No! This isn't possible.
Lady Aranor, you're late to the party.
What happened? Did you kill these men? You bloody piece of filth, I swear I'll...
They were already dead. Hours before they got here, judging by their aura. This is your fault, Aranor. If you hadn't refused to cooperate with the Deathmen, they'd still be alive.
How dare you?
Keeper, forgive me. But they are right. If anything, we should be grateful. What was that?
The vile dog. The undead. They must have broken the seal.
There's no other choice. I need to perform the ritual.
What? No, you...
They will try to stop me. Defend me as long as you can.
Are you deaf? Stop it right now. This is an order.
Shit. Here they come.
Yes?
What do you need?
Take a second.
Sure.
Yes?
So, what's the plan?
Yes.
I am
Just
ready.
give the word.
Got it.
I'll do what's required.
She's caught a scent. Say the word.
Time for us win!
Squad,
Shit.
I killed them.
What about the field Arg? Are we safe?
As long as we hold the fortress, yes, the world is safe. And as always, we're the ones who paid the price.
That's good. That ritual he performed, what was it?
A sacrifice. He knew there was no time to seal the tomb manually, so he decided to act. Dutiful until the end.
What about the stone? We still need it.
Of course, you'll get your stone. Just wait here. Here, is this the one you're looking for?
It is. Where did you have it?
In our treasury. It has been in the fortress since our order was founded. We never knew what it was and assumed it was a Hibernian artifact. Turns out it wasn't. Here, take it.
Thank you.
Thank me. You still have no idea what you prevented from happening, have you? If you hadn't been here, the File Darg would have awoken, and then the blood burn would have been the least of our worries. And here I am, not even knowing your name.
It's Tahar. Yes, like Isamo Tahar.
Oh, so you're... Huh. I... see. Well, Aenir's blade was never affected by your father's rebellion, but it seems you don't take after him. That's good. Anyway, all the best on your travels, and good luck.
Likewise.
Sir Catras, I think we should have a word. Yes, you will get your helmet.
Is there anything you need?
Well, well, quite the drama. I'm glad we fought together in this. This was by far the most exciting battle I've had in years.
You enjoyed this?
Well, parts of it. It took more of my men's lives than I'd expected, and I feel kind of sorry for that boy. But then again, we all knew what we signed up for.
You know, we could use you and your men. The battle we're fighting is far from over.
Oh, I'm flattered. But after all this trouble, what I and the Death Men need most is a good old night of carousing and whoring in the streets of Everlight. Also, I doubt you could afford us.
All right, I'll be off. Safe travels, Catras.
You too, friend. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet again.
Uh-huh.
let's see.
Yes? What is it?
I've noticed that you use both white and black magic in combat. I've never seen anyone do that before. Don't the two schools exclude each other?
Normally, yes. The essence of white and of black magic deeply oppose each other. Trying to combine both of them usually has a similar effect on a mage's mind as adding water onto a patch of burning oil. I, however, never had that problem. The first time I found out was at the Arcane University in Greyfell, where I studied. The white magic spell I had cast on a rabbit to heal his wounded paw accidentally killed it. I was very young at that time, and I knew my professor would be upset if he found out, so I channeled my energy on undoing what I had done. As a result, I created an undead rabbit. It immediately went feral, and I put it back to sleep. But rather than feeling the terrible headache that had been described to us as an effect of combining these two schools, I felt a slight sense of, well, exhilaration. I secretly continued these experiments during my studies, and found out that whatever it is that causes this mental discord among normal mages did not affect me.
Do you have an explanation for this?
No, I do not. Maybe it has to do with the way my mind is structured, or maybe it is a simple coincidence.
Well, that's odd. Back when we met, you told me about an internal disagreement, which led to many of the guild's mages leaving. What exactly happened?
Why do you want to know?
No particular reason. I'm simply curious.
I see. Well, simply put, the guild had two leaders until half a year ago, me and Lena. Lena and a lot of the other mages felt that they could uphold their neutrality no longer without sacrificing their integrity.
You're talking about the persecution of mages?
Yes, I am. As Lena said, they are crucifying us, burning us alive, putting masks on our heads that destroy our minds. If there's something wrong with the world, it's people who keep their heads down because they are afraid to stand in for what's right.
Quite the speech.
She was very emotional when it came to the topic, yes. However, her stance conflicted with everything the Creators Guild stands for. We preserve knowledge, push forward the boundaries of magic. We do not involve ourselves in power games and politics. Figuratively speaking, a fisher will never be a good military commander, just like a mage will never be a good politician.
So where did Lena and the other mages go?
I do not know. They left to fight the purity and save mages, but I have not seen them ever since.
I agree with you, though. It's a good thing Everlight, or the Creators Guild, are neutral. EO needs places of stability, especially in times like this.
I must say I am surprised you feel that way. I always thought you and Lena are very much alike, at least when it comes to the topic of idealism. But these events lie in the past. There is no point in discussing them any further, though I had certainly hoped for a different outcome.
You seem bitter.
As I said, I had hoped for a different outcome.
Goodbye. I'm still wondering what made you leave Kalea and travel the world to study demonology.
You're not letting this one go, are you? Alright, if your life depends on it, I'll tell you. To make it short, I grew up in the slums of Kalea. A shithole if ever there was one. Just imagine an entire quarter made up of half-ruined shacks with the smell of shit and piss everywhere, and way too many people. Then add the tropical heat to it, and you've got the place I grew up in. My father had left right after I was born. My mother is what you call a day laborer, though the days when she wasn't laboring outweighed the ones when she did. Whatever job there was, she took it. Even if it was cleaning the shit out of Kalayan canals. She worked hard, but it just wasn't enough. We lived in a windowless room, and I shared a bed with my mother for the first 14 years of my life. Long story short, after a while, my mother simply couldn't cover the expenses anymore. The rent for our room went up, and jobs became less and less, since the mage wars in Northander also affected the trade in Kalea. So my mother looked for someone to help her out, and found one. A man named Creo. He was a loan shark who had it all. A stupid name and a shady beard. 2 lackeys who followed him wherever he went. And above all, a complete lack of what other people would call decency.
I think I can see where this is going.
Sure you can. It's not the most unique of stories, is it? To cut to the chase, 1 year later we were in massive debt. Creo suggested my mother another way of making up for it. You can fill in the blanks. I was just too weak. Over and over this fucking bastard came. Had my mother tell me to go for a walk. And every time I had no choice but to obey. Do you have any idea how it feels, Tahar? To be that powerless? I remember one day I looked in the mirror and realized how much I hated the boy I saw. I hated his body with all its frail bones, his small arms, his bloodshot wet eyes. And that's when I decided to change things. So the next time he came, I fought back.
How did that go?
What do you think? He beat me up. And it was the same next time and the time after that. At first he found it funny. But after the 4th time he threatened to kill me. The only thing that stopped him from doing it is because my mother begged him to. And I had only made it worse. On my 14th name day I left home and joined up with the Kalayan sand prowlers. My mother begged me not to go. But I just couldn't. Standing there and watching this fucking bastard walk into our room again and again whenever he felt like it. I just couldn't. Dying would have been better than staying. The way I figured it was that if I earned enough money to pay Mother's debts, Kriya would leave her alone. Once I was strong enough, I'd come back. Wait for him to show up again. And then... well, you can imagine the rest.
I think I can. So who were these sand prowlers?
A group of mercenaries. They took me in and trained me. And even though they were skeptical at first, they quickly realized that my determination made up for what my body was lacking. When I was 16 and I discovered my magic, one of their leaders made me his apprentice. The arcane universities are a shithole made up of boy-loving old geezers who care more about how you wear your hair than about your magic. I'll tell you the real thing. And that she did.
What about your plan to pay your mother's debts? Did that work out?
Well, I thought so at first, but we'll get there.
Was that sand prowler mage also who introduced you to demonology?
What? No, she was a mediocre mage at best. The most powerful thing she could do was lighting someone's hair on fire. Though of course she didn't see it that way. After 1 year I was already stronger than her, and I started my own studies.
Huh. So did you ever return to your mother?
Of course, on my 18th name day. I had wanted to return earlier, but a contract had me kept overseas for a lot longer than I had expected. Sorry. It's strange to talk about it.
What happened?
My mother. She was gone. Her room had been cleared out, and the neighbors told me she passed away unexpectedly just 3 weeks before I arrived. Her heart just stopped beating.
I'm sorry.
Why? It was a natural death. She was old when she gave birth to me, and the life on the Kalayan streets isn't forgiving. In other words, it was bound to happen. I went into the room and looked for our stash. A small casket under the floorboards. I found it, opened it, and saw all the money I'd sent her over the years.
So...
She never used it to pay Creo as I instructed her. I have no idea why, but my best guess is that she thought it was mine since I earned it. She was that kind of person, you know? No matter how hard fate punched her in the face, she'd cling on to her ideals. Always did what was right rather than what was good for herself. And look what she got in return.
What about Creo?
Well, as you can imagine, I went to look for him. Right after I was able to think straight again. But he was gone.
Where?
I don't know. I asked everywhere and everyone who could know, and they either didn't or gave me different information. After a while, I gave up.
Why?
Because people like Creo are just a reality we have to deal with. I could have killed him, but what good would it have done? My mother was dead, and no amount of bloodshed and gut tearing could have changed that. The world doesn't give a fuck about your ideals, Tahar. About doing the right thing. That's just the shit we tell ourselves to help us sleep at night. You eat or you get eaten. It's that simple. I wasn't strong enough when I should have been. And that's why I couldn't help her. That will never happen again.
I guess you're right.
I am. To wrap up the story, I enrolled at the university from the money my mother saved for me. Turned out the Sandprowler mage was wrong. There were some boy-loving professors, but they knew their shit. I studied and practiced until there was nothing left to study. Then I found out about demonology and the power in it. I quit university, and I've been traveling ever since. Taking jobs as a mercenary here and there, but above all, improving my skills. My last stop was Bargagora to summon a devourer.
And what are you after, in the long run?
I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
Interesting story. Thanks for your trust, Uran.
Sure. Hope you're happy.
will do.
Got it.
What is it?
I would like to train the elves.
Well, if you have the coin, I might be able to help. Let's see.
Understood. Got it.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains
exciting, isn't it? All that energy. The Shapers must have been gods.
True. It's intriguing.
That's one word for it. Tahar, I need to say this. I'm glad the Harbinger sent you. You've made a dream of mine come true. More than one, to be honest. But anyway, we still need that second stone. Is there something you wish to discuss?
Okay, I'm ready. Sure this place isn't gonna blow up once we insert the second stone, Iskrim?
What? No, I don't think that's likely.
All right, here we go.
Blasted, blistering blazes. I don't know what to say. This is amazing.
But it seems like it worked. We've restored the Nexus to full power. How are you feeling, Iana?
Overwhelmed. But it's bearable.
What now, though? Is it strong enough to perform this joining ritual?
It should be. And you, Tahar, should be the one to do it. You need to connect your mind to the Nexus. That way, you might be able to sense who or whatever is sending out the song. What do you say? Are you ready?
Shouldn't we, I don't know, prepare?
How? Putting on a Shaper costume? Now's as good a time as any.
Fair point. All right, Iskrim. I'm ready.
Good. Then step into the forge.
And what now?
Tahar!
We...
Is it over?
Yes, I think so. By the Guardians, that was... I don't know what just happened.
Describe.
There were... voices, screams, thoughts, images.
How do you feel now? I mean, has anything changed?
I think so. Yes. I feel... I don't know. Clearer. As if something in my mind opened up.
Then it worked! Niehauf's hammer, we did it! You joined yourself with the Nexus!
So... I am telepathic now?
You're not a Dreamweaver. I'd feel it if that were the case.
I don't think you are, but you're connected to this place now. And therefore to the Shaper memories.
Does that mean we can finally locate the cause of the song?
You tell me. Think of the song, Tahar. Close your eyes. What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you see?
I'll try.
A failure. That's what you are.
No. That's impossible.
What is it?
My father. I heard his voice.
Your father? So you think he's behind this?
I also heard the voice of a woman. She whispered something.
A woman? Now this is, interesting. But I still don't understand. Do you really think your father is involved in the Bloodburn?
I don't think so. There's more to it. But yes, my father is involved in this somehow.
This is helpful, but it still does not tell us where to start searching. Think hard, Tahar. Is there anything else?
Yes, there were sounds. Drips, crickets, flies, but...
The eye. Your father's laboratory.
Tiara's breath, of course.
The eye? You mean the marshlands?
Yes. My father had a laboratory there, in the old abandoned manor of House Waite. Nobody was allowed to follow him there, not even Rohan or I.
Well, sounds like we have a lead. The Bloodburn and the Song of the White are somehow connected to your father in his laboratory.
So it seems. Yes.
Tahar, maybe...
What?
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Rohan, tell me.
There's nothing to tell.
Well, if you say so. I'll send a messenger to inform Lacane as soon as possible. He'll want to be there. Let's get prepared.
Tahar, how do you feel? You sounded a bit lost before.
I guess I was. This joining, it still feels strange. As if this place all of a sudden came alive.
That sounds both eerie and fascinating, to be honest. Oh my, I'm using this word too often, am I not? Is there anything else you wish to talk about? If not, I best get prepared.
Understood. Will do.
Will do.